Oh, yeah, I got to wrap this up so I can go check out some pussy.
What?
My brother found some new pussy. I got to go over there and
I
check out.
saw that. You can tell us about it.
Yeah.
But this is...
Did I post that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, on my Instagram. Yeah. He found 2 stray kittens. They have to be less than 7 weeks old.
Ooh,
They're still blue eyes.
that's very cute.
Yeah. He found it by the dumpster at work. So he's trying to pawn them off on me.
Wow.
And I'm at least going to go check them out tonight.
All right.
So
Well, this is episode 83 of Steady Bimco and 33 of Steady Bimco Part 2: The Revenge, the kitten episode, giving away free kittens. And play.
That's right.
And we have our guest fill-in co-host Kevin Cablasto, and we're going to talk about the movie Choppers from 1961, or was it 2? Somewhere around there. Later.
Don't make me revisit it.
Also, we're going to answer the age-old question: yeah, what?
1961.
Okay. But we're going to answer the age-old question: did hippies ever get revenge on Walt Disney for refusing them entry into Disneyland due to their long, unkept hair? He did that. He personally did that. He went to the gate.
I could see him doing that.
Him and that Nazi friend of his.
I was going to say, when you started saying hippies, I thought you were going to say Hitler. And I felt like, okay, I know where I am.
Let's play the song.
It's Steady Bimco Part 2, The Revenge. The show where we create revenge sequels that nobody wanted.
So this is Steady Bimco, Part 2, The Revenge.
I'm still waiting for the song to wrap up.
Yeah, they wrapped up.
Okay.
George.
Hot Ape Summer. Is that the song?
I guess. What's that podcast? Yeah. That and
Splatter. Yes, that's the one.
They pretended they didn't know the name of my show last week. So
yeah, I noticed that. I was getting personally offended for you. So, freaking Dell.
We pick a wild card question on the show because we're gonna watch Choppers.
The Choppers. And
we're going to decide on the fly who from that movie would be most likely to. I picked this out of a jar.
Yep.
This week, who would most likely?
He's pulling it out of a bedpan.
That's you're saying. Everybody loves that joke. So
you'll hear it next week too.
Who from this movie would most likely appear on a game show called Sasquatch or Hippie? Wow. George wrote that one.
Yeah.
Did you write that down? Because I won't remember.
No.
Do I have to write it down?
Well, I'm not going to write it down. That way I can make a better one.
These are all new, and they're all based on the Boggy Creek films. Have you seen all the Boggy Creek films? Because we have now, except for one.
Oh, really? No. I think I watched one of them. And then I watched Equinox, and it one ear out the other. I wouldn't have even remembered if I didn't mark it on Letterboxd. But you're like, it's a really good movie for our show, and I watched it. And,
which one? Part 2?
Once again, you duped me.
Equinox? You didn't like Equinox?
Equinox.
You didn't like that?
Well, I watched it. I will say I'm glad I watched it so I can be that guy at the party who says Evil Dead wasn't that original. Yes. So, but outside of that, I did love the stop motion.
Right. Hey, before we while I was waiting on you, I went down a rabbit hole on YouTube and I was listening to Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Okay. Are you able to Google right now? Trilogy Emerson, Lake and Palmer. This is the name of an album, if you didn't know. Came out before you were born. You see that cover painting?
I see it.
It's 3 men. It looks like a 3-headed man, but
yes.
So the man furthest away from us, does he not look like Jeff Daniels?
Yeah, I can see that.
And the man closest to us, he looks like Will Forte. If Will Forte was a 14-year-old, maybe.
If you say so. I'm going with it. Yes, he looks exactly like you described.
The man in the middle. I don't know who he looks like.
It looks like George if he shaved.
Who? Oh, George if he shaved.
George.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
George.
Yeah. When I see George, I say Sasquatch or hippie.
These are all hippies.
So, okay.
Look it up at home. Sorry, I got distracted.
Didn't didn't you say you were listening to Traffic
first? But then you had to go get coffee.
Okay.
And
Yeah. When you said Traffic, I just assumed living in Brooklyn, you like opened a window.
Sirens.
Yes. And you're just like, oh, beautiful Brooklyn. So
all right.
Just ignore me as I dislocate my arm to get out of my straitjacket over here. Look at this.
Oh,
now you know what that
You're
is.
holding up a clown from Killer Clowns, which we watched.
Yep.
Was that last week? 2 weeks ago?
I have no dang idea. You live in Steady Bibco time, which is not accurate to real time.
Last week we saw. Oh, we watched Return to Boggy Creek. Before that was, I think, Psychotronic Man, and before that was Killer Clowns.
Okay. Yeah, I'm excited to check out that.
You actually bought Killer Clown merchandise. Did they squirt water or something?
No, it's just a line that I have. It's basically, they're called Toonie Terrors. NECA does it. It's like they took Scooby-Doo style and applied it to a bunch of... It started with like Freddy and Jason. And now they've done it so much that they've got to the point of doing Killer Clowns because they're like, okay, we're running out of people. So,
are these all on your wall? Like George O'Connor does?
They should
build a
be,
shelf?
and they would be. Yep. I did whatever George did, but 2 times better. So.
It's behind glass.
Yep.
You have a lady come in twice a week to dust them all. Or a man. I mean, I don't mean to say.
Then I have a lady come in to dust the lady who dusts. So
when she passes out from dusting too much.
That's right. So.
Or a man.
Yeah. No, I just leave these things out to test my relationship. I sent Megan a Spider Gremlin toy I have in the package. And she's like, why would anyone want that? First of all, she said, please tell me that's a toy. And then she said, like, why would anyone want that? I'm like, it's a really good question.
It is a good question.
I started to have an existential crisis. I mean, I think it's just because it's awesome.
And what'd you say? I found it on the street and you're wondering the same thing?
No, I just didn't tell her how much I paid for it. But yeah, anyway. And then who was it? 70mm was doing a Hellraiser episode, Hellraiser 2.
Okay.
And I realized that I've had these, like, I have like a big Pinhead and Shatterer figure that's like, I don't know, over 12 inches tall.
Nice.
And I've had them since like 2005 at least. So a long time. Wow. And then it is a situation too where I'm like, at what point do I live with my significant other and put those out on display? You know, like not really for the man cave thing, but I can understand having barriers, you know?
Oh, and I should say we got letters for the contest, and we're going to read them all next week to see who's the winner. We're going to pick a name next week. You're going to be here. So
okay.
you can't enter, but if you have a significant other, they could enter. They can enter the contest. If you have at least one friend.
Well, it's the same person, but yes,
you could put a flyer up at your workplace.
Yes. I'm sitting at my workplace. Everyone works remote. So
really, you're remote all the time?
Yeah, 2020.
All right. I just wanted to mention the contest because we've now talked for 14 minutes about everything that I didn't know we were going to talk about. Which is fine. I don't care.
I was going to say, you invite me on, you better expect the unexpected.
I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm just saying. Tune in next week. We'll pick a winner. We got some emails. I
will be here,
and
I will.
I did promise this last week, so I'm going to follow through. And I thought George was going to be here to make fun of me. Last week at the end of the show, I said, if you were listening,
no one will make fun of you. Yes,
I was going to admit I bought something embarrassing on the Home Shopping Network in 1993.
Just.
Okay. When it was new, there was no internet. It was called QVC. Do you remember that?
I do. That's how I knew it.
In 1993, I bought something. You want to even guess what it might have related to?
Butt plug.
Because of the new show, the new TV show that came out back then. Butt plug.
What did you?
It's related to something no. I like.
Okay. Let's see.
The what?
You like Star Trek? Was it a plate? Was it a collectible dish? I know about the Next Generation dishes.
You're zoning in, but it was a new show in '93 called Deep Space Nine.
I was just going to say Deep Space Nine.
And they were selling...
Was it Quark's head?
They were.
Was it a cork butt plug? Yes.
That would be a big seller. You shouldn't give away these ideas.
What was it?
It was Deep Space Nine Blueprints. The space station, the ships.
Of the space station?
The interior. And I don't know. For some reason I thought, I'm going to buy that. And the show came out, and it's funny if most of it was correct and a few things have been changed. So that's all.
Yeah. Like pre-production.
Yeah, there was pre-production
basically.
drawings of what everything would look like.
You better still have it.
Actually, I don't. So.
Oh, yeah. You're the worst.
Did you want to buy it?
You're the worst. No, but like, what kind of nerd are you? Okay, let's talk about the Choppers.
To movies.
Written and produced by Arch Hall.
Right.
Starring Arch Hall Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Arch Hall Sr. was the writer and producer.
Yes, Arch Hall Jr. seems to have been, he tried to have a little career there in the 60s with both movies and music.
Nepotism. Yes. Oh, God, he tried music?
Well, I think he wrote those 3 songs in this movie that we hear.
Oh.
Monkey in My Hat Band was the big one.
Oh, my God. Yes, that was big. I've been singing it.
Arch Hall Sr., you know what? I did a lot of research in this, and I totally missed Arch Hall Sr. was in it. Who was he?
Maybe he played Monkey. No, what's his name?
Did he play the crazy old man? That'd be great.
Moose. What did they call him? Cowboy? The crazy old man was Cowboy? I think that's what they call him.
All his names, all the names here. They didn't name.
This is. I didn't write anything down. This is all from memory.
I got their names.
My eyes were glued to the screen.
I think the old man, his name was Cowboy Boggs.
Didn't I just say Cowboy?
But Cowboy Boggs. You didn't know his last name.
Okay. I didn't know. Well, we're close, so I can just call him by his first
Let
name.
me give the plot so people know what this movie's about.
Yes.
A gang of teenage greasers, terrorize a small community by stealing cars and stripping them for parts, then selling the parts to a crooked junkyard owner who looks like Orson Welles. The police and the insurance company investigator set out to break up the gang. And this was only an hour long. It was probably shown as a double feature. And it was probably one of those morality movies because it was like, this is why kids go wrong. Basically, it was this whole movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I just know of it. Actually, maybe I have seen it, but Reefer Madness, it just fell into like that territory.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's basically like, you're supposed to watch this movie and be scared straight. So.
The parents and the kids, I guess.
Exactly. Did this movie make you turn your life around after watching it? Timmy the Torch? That's what we used to call you.
Because this reporter starts off with a reporter telling us he doesn't feel good for the greatest resource America has, which back then was not oil, was not NFTs.
Oh, God. It's already dated.
What?
Anyway, keep investing. Keep buying my NFTs.
But it's...
George is at his NFT conference right now.
That's why he's not here, yeah.
That's right.
I wasn't supposed to say that, but... So he's scared for America's youth. And he introduces us to these... Are there 7 kids? Because I wrote down 5 names.
I definitely wrote down less names than there were. I wrote down 4 names. and I know there's more than that. I just gave up.
And this is a Mount Rushmore picture, by the way. Never heard of that company again.
I was going to say, I haven't either. I thought there was some significance to that when you just mentioned it. But
well, there's Jack Cruiser Bryant.
This is Jack Cruiser Bryant. His family is wealthy. He has never known his father. His mother spends most of her time in Las Vegas, Palm Springs, or New York.
He's got a hot rod.
Okay.
And there's Lester Torch.
Yes.
He just loves girls and drinks. And his mom is in Palm Springs, right?
Okay.
Tony the Snooper Pinelli. I don't know why he's the Snooper, but
I don't know.
He has too many stepfathers. That's all they say. I don't know what's going on there. And Ben Shore's the muscle.
That means his mom's a floozy.
Ben Shore is the muscle, and he has a good sense of humor, which I didn't think. But
no.
And there's Flip Johnson. They don't know if he's 16 or 19, and he stole a peanut butter sandwich in school. That's how his life of crime started. And I will say these kids did at least look like they were 20 or under, unlike some films.
So wait, who was the guy who had the blowtorch? Wasn't it Torch?
I thought that was Flip Johnson. No, he was. Yeah, I don't know. I missed one.
Okay.
Maybe Torch. Obviously,
think,
Torch. Obviously, Torch.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
Well,
it doesn't matter.
That's the thing. Do not edit this out. That's the thing where it's like you go, Torch, he's good with women. It's like, or he has a blowtorch prominently in every scene that he's ripping a car apart.
I said he loves girls. So. He doesn't torch. That's all.
Okay. I didn't say he torches girls. So
none of these guys have girlfriends except for Jack Cruiser, because he's wealthy. But we'll get to all that.
Okay. When are we going to get
Snooper?
When?
He has glasses, and they keep kidding him. That's why he can't get a girlfriend. He needs contact lenses.
That's true.
I didn't know they had them in 1961. I don't know when they invented contact lenses.
1802.
1802. Did Abe Lincoln wear them?
Let's see.
I think he did wear them.
Oh, it's 1888. Actually, I looked it up. Yeah. There's a lot of.
Were they made out of wood back then?
I don't know. But there's the first they were glass.
Wow.
Oof. Wow. Yeah. Fick in Paris optician.
If Abe Lincoln had only had contacts, he would have seen that hole being drilled into the door of his.
The glory hole?
No.
I don't follow history.
You don't follow history. No. his assassin drilled a hole in the doorway to his private box when he was watching Our American Cousin.
What I was saying still holds up.
What?
So, that is a glory hole. So here's the thing. Here's some trivia that's directly related to this movie. Okay. What year do you think the fax machine was invented?
I'll probably 1960, since you're
1843.
Come on. 1843.
I'm not even joking.
You are too.
I'm not even joking. No,
it was just a telegraph back then. What are you talking about?
It says, in fact, it was Alexander Bain in 1843 who invented the electric printing telegraph.
Well, that's not a fax. Come on. That was just...
Okay. The telephone fax was 1964.
Okay, that's better.
Okay.
That's what.
I'm glad you're happy.
That's why they assassinated JFK. He wanted to stop the invention of the fax machine.
Yeah, and they said, what policy do you want to put through? And he said, just the fax, man.
That's right. You got it.
And then, there you go. I tied that up for you so we can move on.
So we open with them finding a car by the side of the road, and they have a chicken truck with chickens, and they hide all their blowtorches behind the chickens, and they strip this car. I don't know. I guess radiator. I don't know what parts were valuable back then. The tires, the radiator, the radio.
They take the hubcaps. That's obvious. But they take the full exhaust from underneath.
Yeah.
That's what Torch does most of the time. Yeah, me too. They really strip it, and then it's like their signature. When they strip it, they flip it on its side so they can get underneath and get everything out.
Terrible kids.
Pretty kind of interesting. I haven't seen it in a movie. I've seen people steal a radio and stuff, like Gone in 60 Seconds, steal a car, but I haven't seen
this. When I moved to New York, I totally didn't think about it. And this is how long ago it was. I had a nice tape deck player. Sure. And it was gone one morning, and they opened the door, and my battery died because, left the lights on or something. And the police came. And all they said was, "Did you park the car like this?" Because it wasn't parked; it's perfectly straight.
Oh no! Are you kidding me?
That's what they wondered. It's like, why are you asking me if I parked the car? Anyway.
And then they ticketed you for being parked.
They beat me up.
That sounds like New York.
Then they went to the donut shop. No, we love our police listeners. Sorry.
Listen, there was a cop eating a donut in this movie. Did you notice that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There's many things about the police in this movie that were worth noting.
So they steal everything, put it in the chicken truck, half of the hide in the back of the truck, and they blow smoke at the chickens. They torment those poor chickens with smoke. I remember that part. I don't know if you noticed that.
No, I did not
notice that. Wow.
I closed my eyes. I could sense evil coming, and I averted my eyes. So,
and they go. I don't know.
very delicate man.
They go meet
Yes.
Moose, who I can't believe you
Yeah.
didn't. Right away, I'm like, is Orson Welles in this movie? He looked like Orson Welles from Touch of Fear. You know, old Orson
Okay.
Welles. He looked like Orson Welles 5 days before Orson Welles died. Do you?
That's the Orson. Yeah, that's Orson Welles. I
That's
know.
that's the one
Was
you
it
grew,
Touch-
you grew up
Touch of-
with, right?
Yeah, Touch of Evil. Yeah, the voice from
Yeah.
Transformers. In Touch of Evil, he was actually shaven. Wow, I'm used to seeing him with facial hair. God, he was ready to pop.
Well, when was that movie? You're looking at that? What year was Touch of Evil? 1969?
That was
Oh,
58.
wow, I'm way off. All right.
Yeah.
Well, he died
But-
in 1980, I think.
Oh,
or was it
really?
85?
Okay. Well, regardless, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, come on.
Because in Touch of Evil, wait, did he do a Christian Bale and like gain a ton of weight for this movie?
Well, I think he just gained a lot of weight in general. That's just Orson.
No,
I'm not shaming him.
he
I'm just
gained-
saying that was his in later life. He was
he gained it for the
heavy
roles.
set for the roles. God.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough of Orson.
yeah.
This is the
Yes.
kitty
Yes.
episode.
Oh, okay.
So
That's
they're
right.
selling stuff to this crooked moose, and he's got an old man as a partner who I loved.
Yes, the old man who's like playing a song and they get guitar
all the time.
and sit. Yep, like sit on a couch.
Because if he stops playing,
And
that means
this-
the police are coming. I like that.
Ah, I missed
You
that
missed that
detail.
detail
That was
because
good.
those
I
kids are
did.
like, that dang guy and his guitar songs, and he's like, if
There
he
was-
stops playing, that means the police are here.
Listen, there is a lot of street talk
Oh,
that
I
I was just
know.
trying to wrap my head around.
They're
Yep.
mutton.
Keep counting and don't get shook. Yep.
What'd he say?
Let's get out. He said, keep counting and don't get
Right.
shook when he was talking to
Hand
them.
out the cabbage.
Grease this palm, Big Daddy-O. Peel off those cabbage leaves.
Every time I see that loaf of bread, I flip. Some night, Moose, you go home with me.
Showed your heart.
Like tonight, kid?
Keep counting, Moose. He's just talking and don't
Let's
get
cut out and grab
shook.
some grub. Some guy will stick a shiv in you, Moose, hoarding all that bread.
Well, that was odd. He said
That'll be-
that was the big muscle guy. He's like, you should come home with me one night,
Yeah.
Moose. I'm like, what? Just to,
I
you missed
yeah,
that too?
I think you're writing fan fiction.
Did you watch the Criterion version? Is this
Yes,
Equinox all over
exactly.
again? You watched?
Like, good God. Yeah, I believe me, I had that conversation with you before I watched
He
it.
did say, Moose, you should come home with me one night. And I think he meant he was going to stab him and take his money.
Listen, stabbing him could be taken many different ways. So,
And the old man's upset the chickens don't lay eggs because, all that secondhand smoke.
okay, I missed that too. I was focused.
Well,
on
I appreciate you
Uh,
watching this on short notice. I mean, you fast forward through half of it, right?
No, I literally watched the entire
Okay.
thing. I just different details stood out to me. You also watch at 0.25 speed, so you can take in every gory
Yes.
detail. So, are you sure you weren't just like Cape Fear, like smoking a cigar while you're watching this, and you're like, "Oh man, there's smoke being blown in every scene."
That could have been. So the police show up. Is that
okay.
where we're at, or you have
Yep.
anything you want to say about Moose and the garbage yard?
Nope. I just want to
Junk.
say that I want to mention Jack Cruiser's car that he drives around. He's a lookout
That's right.
because and it's like it's not a hot rod.
I
I
would
don't
say
know.
it
It's
was.
basically the entire. Okay, it's a hot rod, but like the whole engine's exposed.
Yes.
But everything looks like a freaking clown car or wacky racers.
Right. The
It's
reporter
like-
at the start. Did you
yeah.
see the wings on his car?
Yeah. It's so bizarre. All the cars were
That was
odd.
the 50s.
And
60s.
in the hot rod, there was like it fit two people, and then three other people would like sit along the outside,
Right.
one on the door and two in the back. It was
That's
insane.
another reason that they killed JFK. He liked these cars, and he was going to put forth legislation that more of these cars were going to be made. You believe me, right?
Let's hear your. I do. Yeah. Our nation needs more of these cars. No back seats. I don't
Thank
know
you.
why I'm doing the Clinton thumb pointing, but
Well, I can only do
that doesn't carry
Mark
over.
Twain, so thank you.
Okay, doing two presidents at once. Anyway,
President.
continue.
Was Mark
Yeah.
Twain president?
No, the thumb pointing. That was a Clinton thing.
All right.
Yeah. I was pantomiming.
Mark Twain was vice president once, briefly.
What? Are you serious? Yeah. Really?
Yeah, when Lincoln was assassinated, and vice president was out of the country. They called in Mark Twain to be vice president for one weekend.
Whoa!
Right.
Knock knock.
Who's
knock
there?
Knock. Twain.
Twain who?
Twain the tub. I'm twowning.
Oh, jeez! Oh my God!
That was a stretch. All right, continue. I know you like your jokes. Joke man.
I am. Yeah, I want jokes.
That's what people call you in the forum.
Well,
you start making jokes and they say, "You want to talk to Joke man?"
Right.
And there you are, blowing smoke on chickens in the alleyway.
So the police show up.
Continue.
And they're like, "It's those damn choppers again." And the couple look at their car. There's a man with his mother, I hope. Seems like it's his wife, but she's like, "Oh no, my car." He's like, "It's okay, it's just a car." Anyway, they can't catch these guys.
Yes.
They don't know how they communicate. They've never heard of walkie-talkies, which is what they use, these giant walkie-talkies.
I was going to say, they're like, and I know this is after your time, but they're like Zach Morris phones, like times 2.
After my time.
They're
yeah, I saw those. Never owned one.
But yeah, no, they are giants.
You owned one.
So
you probably still have it.
My family did.
Just like your VHS player.
I wish I did. Listen, it was my mom who gave me that VHS player.
Oh, okay.
So or VCR, some of us call them. But yeah. Do you need it? Do you need a nice beta?
Yeah.
Yes.
They were superior.
I know the only thing you want to talk about, so just get to it.
What? No, the police officer, Tom Hart. Was that his name?
Yeah.
Oh, that he's got a secretary who's also his girlfriend.
No. You want to talk about the sandwich?
Yeah, I do.
That comes in before we meet the secretary.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
my notes are all messed up. They're all messed up. His name is Fleming, right?
Did you even watch the movie?
Yes.
Short notice.
Was he Police Chief Fleming? Did I get that right? Or Jenks?
He was lower than Police Chief.
But he's always eating a sandwich whenever we see him, and it's either his wife Helen or his mother-in-law, but they won't put butter or anything, and he's always complaining he's going to choke on his ham sandwich.
Anytime I eat a sandwich, I can always tell where the hell her mother made it. Boy, she never puts anything on a sandwich to make it swallow easy. No butter, nothing.
She probably just forgot.
Forgot my eyes. She wants to choke me to death.
Oh, I skipped this whole scene in my notes because I knew you would talk about it.
You get out a sandwich and be like, the Heimlich, right? I'm going to need it. It's not invented yet, but or slap me on the back.
Yeah, he has this whole hilarious dialogue about how dry the sandwich is.
It goes on for 5 minutes.
And it goes on for 5 minutes and comes back later for 20. Did you realize that? No, spoiler alert. This is like an ongoing gag, pun intended.
And he doesn't do much in the movie, right? He's always
none of the police do.
He's like he throws his sandwich away and he's like, I'm going to go out and buy some more Jacqueline Kennedy collectibles because he's a big fan of her. He loved Jacqueline Kennedy.
What year did this come out?
When he was elected, 1961.
Okay.
That's what he was doing most of the day.
Gotcha.
And then we meet Tom Hart. Is he? Okay. He's a police officer, right?
He's higher up. Yeah, I think
they didn't introduce everybody because there's a couple guys dealing with this.
There's like 3 guys, and then there's the guy with the blonde.
But Tom Hart has a secretary, and Tom Hart, I'd like to explain, he's got gray hair. He's old. Yes. He's got a wrinkled face.
He's the oldest police officer we've seen yet.
In existence in 1961.
Yes, exactly. The oldest in the planet.
And his secretary, I don't know, she could be 20, she could be 25, but we think she's his secretary, but then she's like, I want a steak. You promised me a steak. And I guess she's secretary girlfriend, right?
Yeah, that's what we found out later. It is confirmed that he basically talks about firing her, but yeah, it's also his girlfriend. So, and they sit at the same desk.
That's as it should be.
He faces one side and she's like to the left of him. like at the end of the
European
desk.
style. I don't know if you know that.
Also, I will. No. Also, this movie is black and white. So when I say she's blonde, I'm making assumptions.
Me too, but it's either white or blonde.
Yeah.
It's you know,
exactly.
it's
she could be incredibly
it's done
old.
up like Jacqueline Kennedy's hair.
Yes, but blonde.
So we'll get this out of the way now. It's not so much a list, but he was so much older than her. Her name's Liz.
Yeah, thank you. I felt bad just calling her blonde. I didn't catch her name
until
later.
And they're dating. He's so much older than her.
Yes. How much older than her is he?
He's so much older than her, Tom. Tom is so much older than her. He helps her cheat on her math homework with his abacus.
That's pretty good.
And she's so much younger than him. You want to ask me?
How much younger is Liz than Tom?
When he showed her his scars from World War I, she would ask him if he fought on the side of the Union or the Confederacy.
That's where you add in the rim shot.
Yes. And the last one, I won't make you ask me. She's so much younger than Tom that they would compare notes on who had the worst tater tots, the school cafeteria or the nursing home. So there you go. There's my list.
That's good.
He also complained about having to take her to those new movies called talkies. He didn't like those. Anyway.
That's pretty good too.
Sorry,
you
I derailed you.
You mentioned... No, you're fine. I went into like the war zone because you mentioned the war.
Yeah, the war.
There was a kid. There was one of the kids who talked about his dad. Right. I can't say on the air verbatim what he said.
Well, you can quote it. I'm not. It's not. I mean, it's slang that is considered. We don't use anymore.
I'm still getting harassed for saying certain things on my podcast. Spaghetti and Freddy. Check it out. But
who is calling in to complain?
When I called someone a Pollock because it was the correct terminology. My mom was just harassing me.
You don't read her letters on the air.
No, I don't let her know that anything exists. I don't want her to.
It was probably Chuck Forsythe. What's his name? He was probably right.
Yes. Foreskin.
Oh, Jesus, come on. I didn't say
that. I'm George Hamilton, and I stand by this message. So the kid was saying how like the Japs, and I quote, shot down his dad
while he was
parachuting
too. It was like
compound. Yeah. Oof, brutal.
And he has a pool. Yeah. He's rich. He's got a pool and a hot rod. Yeah. And his girlfriend and him, and he's reading the paper, like delinquent kids do.
Yeah.
Did you read the paper? You might have.
Only the comics.
Me too. I was like, you're not reading the comics. What are you reading?
No, I only ever read the comic strips.
I think he was reading the obituaries. He wanted to find an apartment for himself. Get out of that house with.
I think to this day, unless it was an article about me, I only read the comics in the newspaper.
You read the obituaries too, bro.
I never did that, but now I have.
You're checking for George O'Connor. You're like, you can take over his spot in the show.
I check for all the hosts in the show. Just take over the whole dang thing.
Well, they go out to find another car. Yeah, it's not much of a plot.
Yeah,
and. No. Our secretary, Liz, she sees a chicken feather. She's like, there's a chicken feather. And he's like, shut up. This is men's work. No clues.
Sure. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Not a single clue. Yeah. So great.
But what do you want to say something? Sorry.
No. That was the same note that I had. Right. Yeah. How they say not a single clue.
She sniffed it like, it smells like cigarettes.
Yeah. And then once again, it's more back to like, I'm hungry. Let's go.
She always wanted a steak.
Then and then the movie goes to like, I don't know, a Burger Shack type place.
I know.
I'm trying to use it. Go ahead.
I'm just saying she wanted a steak, but he takes her to a burger joint. He's really cheap.
And that's where the ruffians are hanging out. The greasers, the delinquents, and I just have to comment this in case people are watching at home, which I know they will. The movie gets really freaking dark, and I mean literally. like the film exposure gets all screwed up, and it's like hard to see anything. So it's not just you. And I watched on the Criterion channel.
Oh.
For real.
For real.
Oh wait, no. I'm mixing up my movies. I'm totally. I watched The Black Cat the other day with Bela Lugosi, and I watched that on Criterion. I watched this on. Was it? No, I watched this on Amazon Prime.
Okay, I didn't know it was on there.
So it was. Yeah. So you watched it on Tubi, and then I said I wanted to watch it without ads. So I knew I watched it on like a legit service.
I didn't notice it get dark, but later it got crappy. Did that happen to you?
Oh, no, it didn't get crappy. But so yeah, must have been 2 different transfers.
Interesting.
Because it got like so dark that it was hard to make out what was on screen.
Could you see the lady they were sexually harassing at the burger joint? Like,
I heard her. I seriously barely could see her. Yeah,
you missed out. She was topless and everything.
Oh. George is going to be like scrubbing through this hour-long movie forever. So he's going to wear out his VCR.
So there's some good slang here because they see a couple making out in a car. What do they say?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they say, get a load of them shimmers on that tank.
And they go wall to wall? Is that what they said? Is that slang back then for sex or something? Or making out?
Something like that. And one guy does say, it's not that I like girls so much, but something about the way they're built.
Yeah.
That was a very clever, funny line.
Is that clever or is that pre-serial killer? Like, I don't like ladies. I just like their bodies.
Good God. I think it's serial killer. Yeah. That's what I call genuine laugh and plaster.
Yeah, I wrote that down too, and I wasn't sure what that means.
Okay, good. I also wrote down fuzz equals cops.
Yeah, we know that.
Fade equals scram.
Okay.
And when they see the blonde lady later, they say, the one that is with the cop, they say, you don't get merchandise like that, no supermarket.
Right.
my tone was wrong, but the dialogue is right. So
I'm going to get letters now.
This is good. No, this is good. I'm going to work these into my own daily speech.
While you're at work?
At work. Yeah, I was going to say at work. Yeah.
From home?
So.
Are you on Zoom calls all day?
I am. So not necessarily Zoom, but video calls all day. Mm-hmm. I mean, it could be worse. Like be working in a coal mine.
Yes.
So
they go and get burgers, and these kids steal the hubcaps and radio and carburetor from the cop.
The carburetor. Tom's car.
Tom's car.
And then Tom. Then everyone's laughing at him.
Did you notice when they got in the car, it was Tom, his secretary girlfriend, and the other cop, and they all squished in the front seat.
No, I didn't realize it. Well,
why do you have to do that? You make the. Oh, okay, you couldn't see it.
Yeah, it was still really dark.
You make the lady sit in the back. That's how that should have been. That's how it went in the early '60s.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. Anyway, they stole everything. Stole the cigarette lighter, so they couldn't play that game with who am I going to burn? You know that game, right? George didn't know that game.
Yeah, I grew up with cigarette lighters in cars, and now it's just you used to have cigarette lighter adapters, and now it's just straight up. You have that port basically for USB and stuff, but there's no cigarette.
No cigarette lighter.
I remember the ring, that you'd get
when you got burned.
Yep. Give yourself a tattoo.
No, it's usually someone else doing it, but.
Well, it was a test of strength when I was a youth, when I was a greaser. You probably remember ashtrays on airplanes too.
I don't think I flew when there was smoking on planes.
Oh man, missed out. Can't turn back those hands.
No, I wish.
There's also topless women on airplanes all the time. Wow. Yep. See. Okay.
Anyway, so they bring more parts, and the police have visited Moose, the junkyard guy, and he's like, "Nope, don't know nothing about that. I just take naps here in the sun." He doesn't want those kids to be selling so many parts. Wants them to lay off. And he mentions to the old man, maybe we'll have to kill some of them, and he gets really excited. Did you notice that?
Yeah,
he talks to the camera. I mean, he broke the fourth wall.
I mean, his name's Cowboy. What do you expect?
Cowboy Briggs.
Yeah, he goes by his own rules.
Well, anyway, he was very excited. He started dancing, and they started playing some jazzy music.
So wait, we're jumping around. Sorry. So I'm just going to throw my notes in there. You're fine.
Straighten us out.
It's your show.
Cablasto.
Well, one of the fathers of one of the choppers is a drunk, and he just wants him to take him to the store to buy
That's
alcohol.
true.
He basically says, like, I can't drive and I don't have. He's drunk as we
Torch
see
his
him.
father.
And that, yeah, and so basically, shortly after that too, then you find out about the father that got killed in World War II, and then it's obviously painting the portrait of these boys don't have fathers, or their fathers are bad influences.
The father is the most important thing. Mothers, that doesn't matter. He's the worst. He's the same drunk every time you see him. He's the worst drunk actor.
Oh yeah.
He's the kind of drunk. If you were a kid when you pretended to pretend to be drunk before you even knew what drunk was, that's his drunk acting.
Yes. So, I mean, he sells it.
Yeah, he sells it. I believed it.
Let's see. I'm looking to see.
Oh well, we can move the plot along. They steal cars, and eventually they see chicken feathers again, and like, aha, a clue. Why didn't you see this, Liz? And, so that they know.
Yeah, seriously.
And this seems like a tiny town. They didn't visit all the chicken producers. I don't think that would have been my next step. But what they finally did, what I thought they would have done at the start of the movie, is leave a broken down car and watch it. It seems like this has been going on a while. So what?
It's funny. It's funny. Hindsight's 20/20, Tim. You're saying that now. You're like, they should have just left a car as you watch the movie and know how it plays out.
Well, they're always going to the hospital because.
Do you watch like murder mysteries and you're like, oh, clearly it was Cynthia the whole time.
I do.
But I don't know why they. Okay, you just before you watch it with your wife, you just skip to the end or look up who the murderer is, and you're like, oh, I know.
I Google
who
it first.
Yeah.
Before watching it.
Good.
I Google and research the movie, then I'm like, let's watch this movie.
Yeah. You spent 3 hours researching this 1 hour movie before you watched it. Okay. Anyway, continue.
No, that's all. They were busy all the time going to the hospital to visit Jenks because he almost choked on his sandwiches, I guess.
Oh, speaking of being back at the police station, Liz does read the headline that says the choppers chop again.
Right.
And he says, look, beautiful, if you read that bit one more time, I'm going to fire you. That's how we find out that she works for him.
Right.
Yeah,
He's too busy reading the paper. She is. Reading headlines.
Yeah. That was the internet back then.
I thought they would show her reading the comic strips,
Yeah, I know.
Reading the Lockhorns. I have to mention the Lockhorns once an episode.
I had to Google the Lockhorns, and I read too much Lockhorns because of your mention. What an
Did you buy a collection at the rummage sale? Collection of Lockhorns?
I did. They said, just take it. And I said, no, I'm paying cover price. So, good God.
So, before the stakeout, I want to mention something that was the only part of the movie that was
the farmer
funny.
routine?
Oh, they did.
Okay,
yeah.
When they get a flat tire?
We're going through this movie. Yeah. We're leaving out all the good stuff. But they almost get caught and they pretend to be dumb farmers.
Yep. They say, through their walkie-talkies, they get a flat tire and say, give them the farmer routine. So they put on farmer hats and pretend to be, dumb.
So like, did you see a car with a green top come through here? And he's like, I don't know. I saw a car with a purple top and a white convertible. I don't know. They keep going through the colors. Like, I don't know.
I don't know who old man is, but I wrote, that was right. An old man pulled up.
That's the funny part.
And he was off. Oh, yeah. That was good.
They did actually really get a flat tire while they were trying to get away.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this old man shows up. You want to tell us? Do you want me?
Oh, I don't know. I just have the line that he says, I don't want to help. I just like chickens. It was good.
They're like, we don't need your help, old man. He goes, I know. I just like chickens. He had questions. He's like, are they layered chickens?
Yeah.
Are they boneless chickens? Do they like cigarettes? I like chickens. Are they descended from dinosaurs?
He had a lot to say about chickens.
And they're like, no, we're not selling them. He was very persistent. That was almost like an SNL skit. It's like, I don't know, just random.
No, it wasn't. It was kind of
funny. I know. Okay. I haven't watched in a while.
I haven't either. But then again, no one's passed anything around. With the writer's strike, they've been off.
Right. Yeah. It's over now.
Believe it or not, someone actually pretends like they write those skits.
Wow.
So
that's your hot take.
It is. I stand by it.
But they fix their tire and they get away. Sorry, I got ahead of myself.
You're fine. And then Moose wants them to knock off for a while.
Yeah.
So
and they're like, no, we're not gonna. You're gonna pay us.
Yeah.
And for some reason he gets rid of them. He gives them $130.
And Guitar Man pulls a heater on the boys.
Yep. And he does give them 130 to skedaddle.
Yeah. Yeah. There it is. Green, my favorite color. Ulysses, take me to your leader.
And I did what? Yeah, I don't know. They had all sorts of slang.
I don't freaking know. But yeah, Moose wants to get rid of everything Chopper related and start over with a new group.
Right. Where's he going to find a new group of delinquents?
It's like he's just going to like murder them all and plant new seeds or something. It's so weird. So
I did do what George usually does. He gave him $130. And you know how much that is in today's money?
How much?
$1,321.
I mean, there's a good amount of them. You got to split it.
But that was a lot of money back then.
Yeah, I think it checks out for the type of stuff they're stealing.
Yeah. So So he's gonna Moose is gonna plan to lock them out the next time they come back. He's like done with them.
Yep.
And
I've got your cop stuff in there. I said cop tells friend not to eat sandwich because it'll kill him. Other stupid banter. Then I wrote Tim will cover all this.
Yeah, there's more sandwich jokes, and Tom wants to share his sandwich. He's like, your own funeral, and he eats a bite, and he's like, they both throw the sandwiches in the garbage as hard as they can, and he curses his wife again.
I want to cut an edit of this movie.
Just them eating sandwiches.
Yeah,
me too.
Yep. So
with no butter, no mayonnaise.
Good God.
So they do their stakeout finally.
Oh, sorry, they don't.
Oh.
There's another burger scene.
That's right.
And yeah. And then what's his name? The guy with the glasses says, I bet if I had contact lenses, I could look real dreamy. And that's a continued thing with him. And once again, they're talking about Liz and say, hey, get a load of that charmer. And then one of them says, partner, she could have my ranch and all my cattle.
I wrote that down too.
So good.
I love that line.
And then we cut to a scene where the Choppers are singing about being able to do a handstand. And they say, come on, baby, I've got protection. That was in the lyrics.
I didn't write that down.
Yeah, for real.
Was this at the burger place?
No, this was
because
maybe it was at the burger place. It's hard to tell. My video, like I said, got screwed up again.
Because they treat Liz terrible, but this is the part where she sees the kids and she goes and does up her hair and loosens her shirt and flirts with them so she can get the address off his car.
Yeah, that's something
Back
like
then,
that.
you put your address on your cars. I don't know if you know that.
Liz is the only person who actually does any real police work in this movie.
Everybody would have their addresses printed on their car, except they assassinated JFK. He was going to put forth that legislation. Yes. That's another reason.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know all these
sense.
So-called conspiracy theories.
That's the only reason I come on the show, so I can learn the truth.
So yeah, she finds out where he lives. And they sexually harass her with those comments. And
you can get to your sting.
No, I want to get through the movie. I don't know why I'm rushing.
Okay.
Why am I rushing?
I think your notes are out of order. I said I past the song. I just say cop set up a sting while talking to reporter. Oh yeah, the reporter part's important.
But this I can't believe. I think this is kind of unbelievable. That kid's car, the hot rod. He said it cost $5,000 back then.
That's what he said, and I figured that he also could have just been like blowing smoke to impress her.
Because I get,
she brought it up to be like, "Hey, this is really suspicious."
Well, I did the calculation in today's money. Want to guess?
Yeah, more than 5,000.
$50,000 basically.
I mean, for a sports car, how much does a sports car cost? A Subaru costs like 40,000 something. So that's, but then, I mean,
okay.
I don't know. That seems reasonable.
Is Monkey in a Hat Band the song about I Got Protection?
It must have been.
Arch Hall Jr. singing it?
It must have been because the whole song was there.
Because I'll put some of it in right here.
Monkeys in my hat band. I can do a handstand. Got plenty money in my old jeans. Be long gone from a bowling green. Be long gone.
Oh yeah, Yeah.
Okay.
Monkey in a Hat Man. I love that one.
Yeah.
The old man was dancing to it, even though he hates these kids. He's like that old
Summer.
man was the scariest character in this movie.
He really was.
So, I noticed something here. I don't know if your movie is too dark.
What?
But he had a really nice guitar when he was singing Monkey in a Hat Band. It had like ivory inlays and everything, and he gave it to the old man. The old man in the next scene sits down with Orson Welles to play the guitar, and he's got this old junky guitar again.
Oh no!
Anyway, sorry. Huh. This film was ruined by that flub in continuity.
I'm guitar blind, like you're nudity blind.
So we got to the end of this movie. Jim Bradford is the radio news guy, and he didn't look good, did he? Did you get a clear picture of him?
I thought he looked real good.
He looked like Orson Welles maybe 10 days before he died. He didn't look. I mean, honest, he didn't look good. Jim Bradford.
He did not stand out to me as having anything wrong with him. Wasn't he in a suit?
Yeah. He had a microphone.
That's all I saw.
He was going to record the capturing of the choppers.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. I couldn't even tell if he was doing radio or a video. I guess there's no cameraman, so I guess it was just
no video. Yeah, there's no video back then. Just
what? How did we watch
just
the
Mr.
movie?
Zapruder, filming Kennedy.
Okay. Oh yeah. Why don't you just do JFK as your next movie?
Because this is the kitten episode. Call Coblasto. You want some kittens?
Get two. Real nice. Hook you up.
Well, but here's the part where they haven't figured out how the cruiser contacts the choppers, and I'm like, really? There was no walkie-talkies back then? When was the walkie-talkie collected? Coblasto, Mr. Fact Man.
Collected?
Invented.
Created?
When was the walkie-talkie invented? Was that 1880?
I think that was 1937 by the Canadian Don Hings.
Nice.
But strangely, many similar devices were developed by other inventors around the same time.
1903, you say?
Yeah. No. I said 1937.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So it wasn't used during the Lincoln assassination. Nope.
Listen, the less to say about that, the better.
Too soon. Okay.
That's true.
So anyway, they're watching their car. They finally put out there as a lure.
Yep.
And they come, and the choppers come along, and police chase ensues. Is that what we're doing?
Yep. Then they head for the big deal, which is Moose's
the junkyard is called the Big Deal. Yes, that's a pretty good name for a junkyard. Huh? The Big Deal.
Yeah,
or a game show.
So. I think a game show is a better fit, but yeah, the big Moose only bought it because he thought it was called the Big Meal.
Right. Oh no!
So.
Now you're gonna get letters.
Anyway, so we end up they end up holed up in there. They get inside somehow.
They do break through the lock because they are locked out. They break in.
Yep.
They are mad at Moose, and there's a little bit of a shootout because that old man cannot wait to shoot a teenager.
Yeah, that's right. But and Moose has a shotgun.
Yes. And
Moose gets a shotgun turned on himself, and he gets shot.
Did Moose die? I wasn't sure.
He gets shot with a shotgun, but everyone gets shot. Everyone who gets shot, it's literally just like kids playing pretend. There's no blood. You just kind of fall down.
There's three of them live, and they go hide in the junkyard.
But they got Cowboy's gun.
Cowboy Biggs. He's dead.
Yep. So he's dead. Did Moose die? I don't know. They shotgunned him, and then he fell on the ground. And
I got to research this. If Moose died,
okay,
I should have done better research.
In real life, I believe he is dead by this point. So. But the boys get cornered. The drunk father shows up. And he says, "My boy Torch." So that the father refers to his son as Torch.
Right. That's
not by a real name, but by Torch.
Well, his son demanded that. He slapped. Okay. He wouldn't buy him drinks if he.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the son does wear the pants. So, but so the cops. Yes,
Cruiser's girlfriend is there too.
Oh yeah,
watching it all happen,
squealing.
Because after the little shootout, the one cop's like, "What about the girl?" He's like, "Yeah, she's all right." And she's over there kind of crying and looking like she's in shock.
Yeah, so cops try to climb the fence. One of them gets shot. They start freaking out, and they're like, I just killed a cop, and the law says you two help me. So they're like losing their minds. Yep. And the cops end up ramming something
bulldozers
through
out of nowhere. They got a bulldozer.
Yeah, bulldozer. And who knows though? Maybe the garbage place, the dump had a bulldozer hanging around. So with the keys in it. Anyway, but then they snag him. And,
two of them give up, and the one guy, Moose, was it Moose? Yep. They didn't want to give up, or Torch?
No. Moose was Orson Welles.
I mean, sorry.
It was Ben, you're talking.
Ben was the big muscle guy.
Okay, I figured it was Cruiser.
But they argue a little bit, and it leads to nothing other than them all getting caught.
Yep, and they say, "Got anything to say, son?" And he said, "Yeah, we had a ball, a real ball."
The end.
Well, then the radio guy does his voiceover, and he talks about like jail. All it led was to jail and disgrace.
Those kids will rot in jail.
Yep, the end. And it was like watching an episode of the original Dragnet.
They did kill a cop. I think that guy who got the electric chair. I don't know.
Did they say that?
I'm assuming.
Oh my God, brutal! What state was this in?
They never said.
I assume California.
They never said the name of the town. Did they?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, because I kind of wanted the name of the song. The song. Ooh.
What year was the electric chair invented? It was 1890. Ooh. Yeah.
All these things are right after Lincoln died. I wonder if he was assassinated so that he wouldn't put legislation into.
What year did Lincoln die? 1865.
You didn't know that?
Interesting. Well, I didn't need to know it. The internet told me.
You're more of like you knew when Our American Cousin was playing. That's how you know when he died, because that's the play he saw. Because when that started, when it ended, and you know all the cast members. You're a big fan of that play.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, you're talking the original run
in the 1800s.
Yes. Yeah, not the revival. No. Yes. Okay.
Not the little known movie they made in the 1950s.
It's true. Yeah, not the. You're talking the on Broadway cast. Not the on Broadway, off Broadway cast that they originally started.
Yeah, it was off Broadway first because it was at the Ford Theater.
Yes. the Ford what?
Theater.
Oh, okay.
What did you think I said?
Okay. I thought you said theater.
Theater. Let's do it
anyway. Yes.
Sorry. Unless you're done, you have more to say. Did you like this? You liked it at first.
I liked it entirely. Okay. You know what sucks? I watched a movie that's very well reviewed, which is around the same length, the same day. I don't know, and didn't like that one. Made me sleepy.
Which one? What was it called? Tell us.
The Black Cat with Boris Karloff and everything. It was, and I try to explain to people. See, I'm just misunderstood. I tried to explain to you. I said it made me sleepy, and I said it was the audio, and everyone's like, "Boo, boo that man." Right. But I was saying literally the audio quality was just like very staticky and made me tired. But anyway, this movie was pretty entertaining.
Who are you telling this to that boos you? Is this your significant other? You're just saying this made me sleepy.
No, this is Chuck. This is Chuck Foreskin. That was like he said. I believe his exact words are, "I hate you even more now." I think that's what he said to me. So, but anyway,
stop dropping names. Name dropping.
Stop dropping names of people that hate you.
I like this mostly, except the end just kind of fell apart. It was just at the end. It was
yeah. I agree.
But I enjoyed the sandwiches and Moose.
I knew you would. Also, I like that it was short.
Yeah.
Every movie should be an hour.
It should be.
Yeah. I don't care what it is. Lord of the Rings, make it an hour. So. Wrath of Khan, hour.
Gone with the Wind?
Peace. Yep, hour. So think of how many more movies you could watch. The world would be a better place.
Hasn't a fan put together a 2-hour Hobbit yet? A fan cut? Because I would watch that, because I'm not watching 3 movies of Hobbit.
No. Hour cut. We need to put
maybe
together
2 hours. There is an hour Hobbit. It's animated, and it's kind of.
We have to put together our cut.
Hour cut. Okay.
Yes.
I think 2 hours for the Hobbit.
Cut out some of the the dwarves singing, you got yourself 45 minutes
How many
back.
dwarves are in that movie? Is it 12, 13 for luck or 12 for luck? I forget. There's something at the start of the book, like you got to have 13 for luck.
Well, 13 includes Bilbo.
So, okay.
So I think it's 12.
Just cut some of them out. That makes six dwarves.
I'm trying to think of the Gandalf line where it's like, Feely, Keely, Bilbo, Bobo.
Is that him counting?
That's the line where he's saying,
or is that him choking on a ham sandwich?
It is, yeah. Well, he's having his peace pipe. Feely, Keely, Bopper, Bilbo. So.
All right, let's do revenge. Wherever you are, wherever you're hiding, I'll find you.
Revenge. One of us will die. One of us will die.
I will not let Cindy take my place. I will have my revenge.
Yeah, you did this in a pinch, so you don't have to do a big revenge story.
Oh, I'm going to do the bare minimum. Don't
you can
worry.
do the who from this movie would most likely be on a game show called Hippie or Sasquatch. Did I write that down right? I could double check it because I got the.
No, you did. I wrote it down too.
You're just.
it's Sasquatch or hippie, but close enough.
Trust you.
Okay. No,
so game shows back then were famously crooked. You know that, right? You saw that movie.
No. What movie? Seriously, what movie?
It was called Game Show, I believe. You do not remember that?
Hold on.
Game Show, and it was
Game Show
because
movie.
When game shows started, some of them were rigged.
1994.
And they were like, "This guy's popular. We better rig it so he stays on." You don't remember all this?
No. This is a movie I really remember
not seeing
being a big deal. Yeah, and I never saw
Game shows.
What a cast.
Game shows were going to continue like that, but they assassinated JFK because he was going to put in legislation that said you can continue to rig game shows. That's one of the reasons they got rid of him.
You cannot continue to rig game shows.
No, you can.
Game shows. Oh,
he was going to let people.
You can continue. Game shows are the institution that holds this country together. Yeah.
You're good at that voice.
That's the only voice I can do. That's my normal speaking voice. This is the voice.
Is it
right
the same
now.
reason
as
voice. George? You just watch The Simpsons a lot, and you're doing the mayor.
Yes, Mayor Quimby. It is.
I just remember vote Quimby. That's all he says.
There you go.
Who did his? That wasn't Jack. I mean,
Hank Azaria.
Is that Hank Azaria who does him?
I'm just literally looking at Hank Azaria's name because he was in Quiz Show.
I'm hoping it wasn't Phil Hartman.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Phil Hartman only did Troy McClure and Hi, I'm Troy McClure. And then also, what's his name? The attorney.
Right.
Lionel Hutz. Yeah. He just did those two characters.
So who do you have any, you want to start this one? Who would be on a crooked game show called Sasquatch or Hippie?
Yes, because it's crooked, they would put on the guy. So the guy who had the glasses.
Oh yeah.
He figured. I'm tying it all in. He figured he would get revenge on everyone by finally getting some contact lenses, and he got the big thick glasses. The glass contact lenses. And then he went on the show, but it was clear that he couldn't see a damn thing. And so. Did he fall as soon as he walked on stage? He did. He got knocked out immediately, and they just sort of strung him up and carried him out, Weekend at Bernie's style. So, but yeah, Sasquatch or Hippie. I mean, it was a ringer. This guy couldn't tell one thing from the other without his glasses.
Was that the game? Like, we're going to describe someone to you, and you decide, is this a Sasquatch or a hippie? Was it verbal?
No. They just brought someone out, and he couldn't see a thing, and it was just a hairy mess. So, and then he's like, "Oh, maybe I'll just try by the smell." And he's like, "Nope, that's not working either. I can't tell."
But this was 1961. I think he'd be like, "What's a hippie?"
Oh,
anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to throw a wrench into your story.
Well, no, you didn't, because I thought of all the details. This was his revenge as well, so it takes place after the movie.
A few years.
Therefore,
a few years later.
Yes, a few years. Yep. So
this show plays in Haight-Ashbury.
Yes. And then he's like,
good.
Yeah.
Then what happens to him? Does he like does he lose and
he does, but at that point he's all about peace and love
and meeting some chicks because he's got no glasses, right? Did it work out?
Yes, exactly. Well, that's the thing. He meets his love on the show, but he's still, as he's in his elder years, sitting there rocking in his chair going, I still don't know if she was a Sasquatch or a hippie.
Good one. You tied it all together.
There you go. It's done. What do you got for anything?
Well, I did my revenge story, which you don't have to do. You just have to put up with it.
Yeah, that's fine. I've got my coffee. I'm ready to hear a tale. I'm ready for bedtime. Let's hear it.
If you have questions, raise your hand.
Okay.
So you remember that old man that wanted to buy a chicken in the road? He was in this movie. There was a man very obsessed with buying a chicken from these kids.
The character that you would have skipped had I not brought him up. Yes, I remember that guy.
And those kids are like, no, you can't buy a chicken. We don't need your help, old man. Mm-hmm. Well, he's the one that's out for vengeance and revenge.
But, What? That is not where I thought you were going by bringing him up during the revenge sequence.
But before I tell you why, I just have to back up a little bit. The wife of Police Chief Flanagan, her name was Helen. I don't know if it's her or her mother-in-law making the sandwiches, but we're going to say Helen was making the sandwiches.
I'm good
Helen
with
was
that.
indeed actually trying to kill her husband, Jenks. I think his name was Jenks.
Oh.
Because she was tired of his shit. Mostly she was tired of his obsession with the new First Lady, Jacqueline Kennedy. He had commemorative plates with her photo. He had signed photos. He had Jacqueline Kennedy soaps. He had small dolls of Jacqueline Kennedy. He had photos of her on the wall, and he kept calling the Jacqueline Kennedy hotline.
That's good.
And she was just sick of it. So she always fed him ham sandwiches without butter or mayo or anything in the hopes that he would choke and die. And eventually he did choke and die on a ham sandwich. At home, luckily. I mean, it was risky sending him to work because someone would be suspicious. So she took his body and all his Jacqueline Kennedy stuff. And he took it over to the junkyard when Moose was still alive.
Okay.
I messed up the timeline too. Because he'll hide.
No. This is like between
scenes. Yes. She was.
Yeah, we never saw what happened to that cop, so this holds up.
So Moose would hide anything for money, or a ham sandwich with butter. So he took the body, but he wouldn't take any of that Jacqueline Kennedy stuff because he was a Nixon guy. He voted for Nixon, and he pointed the gun at her.
That seems right.
Said, "Get out of here with that shit." So she took his collection of Jacqueline Kennedy's memorabilia and hit the road with her station wagon. And wouldn't you know it, what happened? She got a flat tire in the road.
Mm-hmm.
So she was trying to change the tire with her Jacqueline Kennedy tire changing instructional booklet. But who showed up?
I'm looking on eBay for one right now. The chicken loving man.
That old man who loved chickens. His name was Old Man Chompers. His last name was Chompers.
Okay.
And he's like, what you got there? Jacqueline Kennedy memorabilia? I really like Jacqueline Kennedy memorabilia. Magazines? Got a doll? And she's like, yeah, sure, take it. I want to get rid of it. And that old man smiled, and his face turned into a screaming skull. His terrible, hellish appearance scared Helen to death right there on the highway as he turned into a transparent, ghostly apparition. Because you see, that old man wasn't a real man. He was a ghostly specter that haunted the back highways of whatever town this took place in. So why is he a ghost who asks for things, you may ask? He used to be Old Man Chompers, who once got stuck in the road with a flat, and he flagged down some kids who turned out to be the Choppers gang when they were in junior high. They were younger. And he asked them for some water because he was parched. But those kids were mean, even in junior high. And they gave him some moonshine that Moose's old man, Cowboy Briggs, made. It was too strong and it was bad. It was basically poison, but he, gulped it down because he was thirsty. And after they left, he died right there by the side of the road. All because those kids gave him some bad alcohol instead of the water he wanted. And now, he's a vengeful ghost who drives around in his Ghostmobile asking people for whatever they have. Chickens or pigs or Jacqueline Kennedy memorabilia or whatever. And if you actually give it to him, he'll steal your soul as vengeance. So those kids were lucky. They wouldn't give him a chicken.
They dodged a bullet.
They would have.
So he's a ghost driver.
A ghost driver. So if you see... No, I'm not going to do that. Halloween's over.
No, it is. Halloween never ends in my
This movie's called Choppers 2. Chompers. Because his name is Old Man Chompers.
I was going to ask why the name. Why would they name it so close to the title?
If an old man on the highway asks you for your stuff, don't give it to him. There you go. This is now November, but there's a Halloween story for you.
Listen,
were you scared?
We're recording. I was. Then he started talking about actual ghosts during in the middle, which you're going to cut out. So, yeah, we talked for 4 hours about the ghost of JFK. So, but yeah. We're recording this Halloween Eve of 2021. So it'll air in November, though. Yes? What?
This will air November 2nd. Do you know when Kennedy was assassinated?
November 2nd.
No, I don't think so. I think it was the 7th.
Okay.
Are you checking?
Yeah. When was JFK dead? That's what I wrote. November 22nd.
Oh, I'm totally off.
Yeah.
But that's why it's on my mind.
Yeah, sure it is. Yeah, I'm sure that's the reason.
All right.
You have a giant framed photo of JFK behind you, but gruesomely, it's the assassination image. So
it's a frame from the Zapruder film. That's what it's called.
It is.
You know that, right?
Yes, I do. I watched JFK by Oliver Stone just this past year for the first time.
Now everybody should check out also the movie Mixtape, and I bring that up because Dirk Feelgood, who is one of the hosts, he lives in Britain. And they often ask you, what's your favorite this or that movie? And if it's favorite horror movie, I always type in Zapruder or whatever.
That's
and
funny.
Eventually
That's
he's like,
good.
what is this Zapruder film? I realize, I guess you live in Britain. You're younger than me. You really don't know what the Zapruder film is. Anyway, I thought that was funny.
Grassy Knoll.
I'm sorry, Dirk.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dirk.
No, you're not. This is the second podcast I've been on in 24 hours or so, and apologize to Dirk. I'm not even joking.
Spaghetti and Freddy, or was there another one? Okay.
Yes, Spaghetti and Freddy. Yoli had to make a public apology to him.
Really? Are you kidding me? Okay.
Yeah. She set out to make a public apology, and I'm like, what about me? For me? What did I do? So, no, it was her.
I make a public apology to Chuck Forsythe for calling you Chuck Foreskin. That's totally out of order.
He already said he hates me even more than he did before. I think he literally said I hate him twice in a week through different methods of telling me.
I'm Switzerland in this one.
Yeah.
So
there you go. Okay.
So us. Well, let me get this out of the way. Like us. Like us and love us on Instagram. Tune in next week. We're going to pick a winner in the contest. It's too late to submit stuff by the time this airs. We'll have picked a winner. Oh, yeah. They're winning some art I drew, original artwork. Do you like it?
Yep.
Do you like the artwork?
The frame from the Zapruder film?
You kept sending in the wrong answer, so I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's good. I watched the damn movie.
It's the winged creature from Equinox.
Yeah, it's good.
So give us 5 stars. Write us an email, and I'll check right now. Did we get an email? Well, not since we got on air. I did get some guesses for the contest, which we'll read those next week, okay? Because, surprise, you were going to be here again.
Yeah, and this time it was planned. So,
and you're going to pick a movie.
Do I get to say what movie we're watching?
So. Or you want to psychically send it out there into the world?
They probably know. So I had to pay back Tim, although I see it as a gift every time I'm on. But the gift I'm bringing with me for the host is 1986's Critters.
Not Chompers?
Not Choppers. Yes.
Chris.
Hour 26 minutes. If you want to watch it, I have it on both DVD and Blu-ray.
Oh, I have to come to your house.
Yeah, I didn't realize till today that I had it on both formats.
But is it on Amazon?
Yes,
HBO?
it is
It's on HBO. I think I saw.
It's on streaming.
All right.
So it is on.
I don't think I've seen Critters. So
yeah, that's what I was hoping. It's on apparently HBO, and you can rent it for $2.99 on Prime.
Is this the one where there are little balls rolling around? Because I've seen images from it. Okay.
Yes, it is.
And the third one has Leo DiCaprio.
But we're not watching the third one.
Just throwing it out there.
We're watching the one with Emmett Walsh, which was his.
I'm a fan of his.
He was his Leo DiCaprio of the day.
1986.
Yes, exactly.
He couldn't be the Tom Hanks of 1986, but he was.
True. We also have Billy Zane is in this too. Lynn Shay is in it.
Lynn Shay.
New Line Cinema producer's sister, Lynn Shay. Nice. Bob Shay was the New Line Cinema producer. And Dee Wallace is also in it.
Don't give us all the, you're going to explain this next week.
No, I'm just enticing you.
Oh,
I'm
Dee
not
Wallace.
telling you anything about it.
She was in, I picture her with a gun. What was she in?
She was in E.T. She was in Cujo.
Okay, Cujo.
She was in the Howling.
Oh, that's why she had a gun in Howling, right? Or did she turn into a... or does she have a gun in Cujo? Or did Cujo have the gun?
Cujo had the gun. Yeah. Cujo had thumbs and pointer fingers.
It was like Jurassic Park. She's like, I'm safe unless he's learned how to use a gun.
Yes, exactly. So, Dee Wallace is... Or not Dee Wallace, sorry. Yeah, Dee Wallace.
Okay.
Has been in quite a few things.
All right.
And all up until 2023, Dee Wallace is still working.
Ooh.
So, yep. So next week we're watching Dee Wallace, the movie.
All right. I hope so.
Yeah.
Extra credit.
Dee Wallace is the critter. So,
all right.
But yeah.
And listen to Spaghetti and Freddy. I guess it's
yeah, we're back
on the air.
We're on season 3.
Are you going to read my letter this week?
I read it last week, but time is a figment of our imagination in Steady Bimco land.
Right.
So,
we're gonna go. You're gonna keep me here.
I was gonna tell you what movie your letter airs with, but forget it.
Tell me.
Just
tell the listeners.
No, listen to every single one. Let's see. We addressed Tim's letter in the time that we did the movie. Please hold.
Run out of Freddy films.
The movie's called Death Rides a Horse. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
This has been a Pity Party Line production.
Party line, it's a party line.
Did you buy it at your friend's record store that you keep a secret?
Oh, Needle Drop Records? Yoli made me publicly
I heard your episode of your show, Spaghetti and Freddy.
Yeah.
And you talked about his store, but you wouldn't give the address out. And I was wondering what.
Did she cut when I told the name of the place?
I can't remember, but you seemed like you didn't want to give out the name. The address. And she's like, don't you want people to go there? And you're like, no. Don't go there. There's a big diaper stuck to the sidewalk out front. Don't go there.
That was the old location.
Oh, okay.
He has now successfully moved into his new location. So now you can go there. It's very nice. It's great.
Does the new location have smaller diapers stuck to the sidewalk in front?
Yes. Yeah. They're not adult size. They're just normal baby size diapers. No, new location's nice. Probably going to go there this weekend. So Megan could check it out.
Okay. Because
it's next to that British pub. So go there after. But yeah. Right. Anyway, no. To answer your question, no. I could have just said no and just shut down the whole thing. But no.